We are little monsters, and we wanna do is have some fun. Little monsters, 'cause there's a little monster in everyone. Na 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 na. Hey there, we are little monsters, yeah, shay. Silly Sydney by Tony Garr. Sidney was a very silly boy. From that moment he will wake up, and the moment he went to bed, Sidney was silly. One morning, Sidney got up and began to get dressed. He put his socks on his hand and his pants on his head, a Wellington boot on one foot and a flipper on the other. "You can't go to school like that, dear," his mum said. "Go and get changed at once." And Sidney's silliness didn't stop there. At breakfast time, he poured oranges into his cereal and drank the milk from the egg cup and put his son's toast the wrong side up. The wrong side down. Wrong side. Worst to come. The worst was to come. At the first lesson at school was art. Sidney liked art. He painted himself instead of the paper. "Look at me." When it come to games, Sidney wasn't picked for any of the school teams. Not one could tell what he wanted to play. It was time for lunch. Sidney's friends crowded around to see what he had in his lunchbox. It would be hot dogs with chocolate sauce, or sardine and marshmallow sandwiches, or a frothy milkshake that made with tomatoes. But Sidney took off the lid. Couldn't see what was one banana and 2 slices of bread. "That's not silly at all," they groaned, but Sidney didn't let them down. He put a slice of bread behind his ear and began each ear and began to munch the banana skin instead of the banana. How silly. The next day, it was Sidney's birthday. The parents have promised to take him as his sister to Adventure World. It was a special treat. Sidney's parents had a word of warning. "Now, Sidney, try to behave and don't wander off, and don't be silly." But of course he was. There was lots to do in the Adventure World. A haunted house, a candy fossil, a roller coaster, and the best of all, a zoo full of wild animals, including a giant gorilla. It was a long time since breakfast, and Sidney thought he was hungry. So we went to buy a hot dog and brought one to his sister and one for himself. Except for Sidney's hot dog didn't have onions or mustard or bread, didn't even have a hot dog, just a great dollop of tomato ketchup. All of a sudden, terrible commotion. People began screaming and running this way and that way. The gorilla escaped. Somebody shouted, "Run for your lives!" Sidney turned to grab his sister's hand, but it was too late. She was gone. She had wandered off right into a path of a gigantic gorilla. "Don't worry, I'm on my way!" shouted Sidney and ran to her rescue. "Oh no!" cried Sidney's pillow. He's bound to do something silly right now. And sure enough, he did. Sidney pulled some silly faces and lots of silly noises. Then he did some of his best silly walks and generally was as silly as he could possibly be. The gorilla was so confused that he completely forgot why he'd escaped, and the keeper slid him away and let his keeper lead him away. Now everyone cheered. Sidney had saved his sister. What a hero! The owner of Adventure World presented Sidney with a shiny medal and a pass for life. "That was very sensible to do, young Sidney," he asked, in a silly sort of way. On the way, Sidney, a thought struck Sidney. "I've never been sensible. I've never been sensible in my life before," he said. "Perhaps I should try it more often." Sidney's parents was glad to hear that. I'll start tomorrow," Sidney said. I pulled a very silly face at the ladder in the car behind. Na 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 na. Hey there, we are little monsters. Na 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 na. Hey there, we are little monsters. Little monsters, yeah.